What is happening, guys? Welcome to FPL Dave's very professional stream. If you are just watching on YouTube, you will have not seen anything. This will all be seamless. So yes, awesome. We are here today to do Q&A. I got some questions from Reddit. I got some questions from Twitter. I got some questions from myself. And I'm going to be telling you all about it on the stream. Very easy, an easy stream. We're going to look to do 90 minutes today set. I didn't get very many teams sent to me for the RMTs, the viewer RMTs either. If you want to do that, you still have time. You can send it to me on Twitter if you've got your team and you want me to have a look at it. Though I'm going to try and get through the questions fast so I can focus on my final wildcard thing. But also I want to still do some RMTs. Because I'm assuming that a few people have wildcarded with me, and it puts a lot of pressure on someone who is wildcarding in the first place. So I kind of want to help you guys out on that as well. All right, who have we got? It's Roz here, of course. Liam, how's it going? We got a host by Daff for one viewer. I'm assuming he's hosting me and brought himself, which is awesome. Thank you very much, Daffs. Can you send yours on Insta? No, I don't use Instagram, unfortunately, Daffs. But for that sweet ass host, I'll let you type it to me. How about? So we'll get to that at the end. We've got an hour to go. I'm sure you can make a Twitter account in that time. Who else we got? Paul Eastwood. Use the sub money to get a trim. Yes, I got a haircut. It happens every couple of months. No big deal. Just a nice little. This haircut was actually free. I know. Oh, alright, okay, let's get going. First things first, I'm going to show you what my final-ish wildcard team is. There's a few ifs and buts and maybes and I don't know, and we'll see. But I'm pretty set on these two options. Either or. So let's just get straight into it and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, so if you were here last stream, so on Monday, you'll have seen this already. So I've just completely stripped my defense. I'm keeping Alexander-Arnold because he is awesome. We'll just keep him where he is. But I've stripped everyone else down. No City defender. No Everton defender. Fucking Dean out of my life. Messi to the near post. Messi to the net. Daffs, thank you for following. And also, we got someone else following as well, I'm sure. Just there. I heard it. Josh on line 3. Welcome to Big Fat Sexy Club. Why is this not showing me all the stuff? Ah, here we go. Here we go. That's so much better. Josh online, I'm Daffs. Thank you very much for your follows, guys. I appreciate it. When we get to 200 follows, I'm going to do a 2-hour rate my team a stream, so it's just going to be as many, and I'll probably tell Reddit to send me this stuff because they love getting their teams rated and it's going to be a big deal. So if you haven't already, follow the stream. So this is my wild card. Stripped the defense. As you can tell in midfield, I haven't got a Liverpool player. Now I was originally planning on wildcarding to get Aubameyang in, and I wanted to kind of trade Salah for Mane, but when I was looking at the fixtures and I was looking at all the stuff between Mane and Salah and where to go from one to the other, I realized that I wouldn't have enough money for two City attackers, Aubameyang and Son. So I've decided to kind of spread the money out a little bit, go super heavy at the top, and see what we can do with the rest of the funds in defense. And to be honest, it's not going to be that bad. It's going to be a 3 defense setup. 3-4-3 just now, but yeah, so the only thing I'm worried about is not having a Liverpool midfielder, but I really like Son and Mount and Maddison and De Bruyne. I've pretty much got every player that I want to have, and any player that I'm annoyed that I don't have is just because I want cover. I actually don't like owning Salah because it's so much pressure for him to perform, especially when I'm captaining him all the time. And I don't really like owning Mane because he's not Salah, and he would just be cover for Salah, who's cover for, owning someone from Liverpool. So it's all cover, and I don't want to do that anymore. Fuck being covered. I don't want to cover. No covers. Not on this stream. So yeah, so I've decided against that for this iteration of the team. It makes things a bit easier. that I can't really afford Salah even if I didn't have Son, without making sacrifices elsewhere, and I'm just not prepared to do that. I've already sacrificed enough, god damn it. But I do have an instance where Maddison is potentially injured. Now, there was something on Twitter that I seen just before I was streaming, and it said that Maddison might not be injured. He was training today, which is awesome, but I'm not 100% what's going on with that. Like, it might be awesome, it might be rubbish, it might be just a bunch of shit. I'm not 100% sure. But if Maddison is fit, then this will be my team. So what happens if he's not fit? Good question, alright? Good question, guys. If Maddison is not fit, then we're going to need a replacement. So we're going to take him out, and we're actually going to take Aubameyang out. Now, I really do like Aubameyang, and he's one of the main reasons I wildcarded. Because I feel like his run, and the fact that Bellerin's back, and Tierney's going to be starting playing, means that he's just going to have more service. And he already shoots a shit ton, so imagine having even more shooting opportunities. The only issue is he's playing Man United next, right? And that's a bit of a bummer. Even though Man United have been playing shit, you know, they are away, and Arsenal, I think, are worse away than Man United have been this season in general. So I feel like that's going to be a tight game. I'm not 100% sure which way it's going to go. It could be one each, and I would be okay with that. But it seems like a bit of a palaver, right? So I can actually take him out for just 2 weeks. So we can wait to see what Maddison's doing, because you don't really need Maddison. If he's not going to be playing this game, you don't need him till game week 9, right? So that means that I need to get him in 2 weeks' time. And I'll talk about why I want Maddison over Vardy in a minute. Aubameyang scores against everyone. Nothing to worry there, Vizal. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the capacity to score against Man United. It's just not the best fixture. I kind of want to bring someone in for 11 million that's going to bang every game, and I don't know if he's going to be doing that. But I'm looking at the long-term fixtures, so I think it's going to be okay. Daft said he's taking a 4 hit to get in Abraham and Tamori. Yeah, we can talk about that in a second as well. Grapevines, good to see you here, buddy. Planning to do Lanzini, Maddison next free transfer. Good idea. We don't know if he's injured. We don't know if he's going to be coming back. But Lanzini to Maddison seems like a no-brainer. Maddison has just fixture after fixture of just fantastic. Let's remind ourselves again just how fucking amazing Leicester's fixtures are. Other than Liverpool, you've got Newcastle, Burnley, Southampton, Crystal Palace. Let's take away the Arsenal one, because I don't even think that's a bit of it's not that difficult. I mean, Arsenal are woeful away, and they're not keeping clean sheets. Brighton, Everton at home, Watford at home, great. Aston Villa, then Norwich, and then Man City, Liverpool. So we could potentially have them for 12 game weeks or so, right? Just super good. If we're going to be getting them in game week 9, we need a replacement for him for 2 weeks. My sister went Mount over Maddison for Iwobi. Ooh, tough luck. There's someone, a dear friend of the stream, Mr. Tom, if he's listening from China. Get out of here, Mr. fucking Fly. And he went Iwobi because he needed like a sub 6 million because he put money elsewhere, and now he's getting rid of him like this week. It's so stupid. Everton have been playing shite in attack. They've got no bite, they've got no give. They're not doing anything. And now they've stopped playing some of their most prominent attackers, right? They benched Iwobi. It's just so dumb. Calvert-Lewin played again. Fucking idiots. Oh, it's so annoying. So, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like Dean right now. I mean, Dean could be the best crosser in the world, but it doesn't fucking matter if no one's connecting with any of his crosses and getting the ball in the fucking net, right? So that's why he's away. That was really annoying. And actually one of the questions is on that, so I won't push that too much. So who am I going to be swapping out for these two players, these two guys? I've got 18 million to spend on 2 positions. And you guys know just how much I love him. Can you guess who it is? Regulars of the stream, you'll absolutely know this. That's right. You guessed it. It's the one and only. Gone but not forgotten. Mr. Firmino. I brought him in for game week 3, his only blank of the season. Immediately took him out for Pookie for game week 4. And look at that, 12, an 8, and a 9. So we knew it was going to happen, guys. We knew it was going to happen. We just didn't expect it to blow up in our faces that much. It's raw. Firmino, you absolutely nailed it, buddy. You knew. You knew. So Firmino can come in for 2 weeks. And if we look at their fixtures, game week 7, game week 8, it's actually not bad. Sheffield United away, Leicester at home. And if I was to keep him for a bit longer, say something else happened, I needed to use my free transfers elsewhere. Firmino's actually one of the only players that's been consistent against the top 6. So I was looking at his stats, and we can go back if you guys really want. It's a bit of a slog to go through all of them, but he has been consistent. He scores every second game, I think, against the big teams. So Man United, Tottenham, and Man City, that's a goal, maybe 2 goals, and then Aston Villa, Sheffield United, Leicester, I'm expecting another 2 goals, so maybe four goals in the next 6 games ish if I decided to keep him. Yeah, I think he's a good shout, and everyone's kind of jumping on him now. Everyone started talking about him game week 5. We here at the FPL stream decided to bring him in and take him out again. It's just, I'm never going to live it down. Anyway, so I'm going to rectify that, and I'm going to bring him in. He's going to blank. He's going to blank. That's just how it works, right? So that means we've got 8.6 million to spend on our last midfield spot. This is where it gets difficult, lads, because I really want to do something kind of left field if it's just going to be for 2 weeks. So I had a little look at who I can afford, and look at the top people, right? David Silva, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva. I could potentially, because I've not got Otamendi or Ederson or any of those other guys, I could potentially go for Mahrez and just stick him in there for 2 weeks. Or I could get David Silva or Bernardo Silva. There's not really many other players that I've been considering in that spot other than a City attacker. I mean, Lamella's been playing every game, and Lamella and Son have great fixtures for the next 3. But I would really want him for that Watford game. So I would need 2 free transfers to take out Lamella and Firmino, and I wouldn't want to keep Firmino for that Man United away game. I don't think. If I was wanting to wildcard for Aubameyang, then I might as well, keep that plan. So how do I decide between Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, and David Silva? Oh, someone said Pogba. Seth says Pogba, right? No, thank you. Absolutely fucking 1,000,000% no, Seth. You know what you did. Do not suggest for me to get anyone from Man United. Someone asked a Man United question. We'll get to them in a minute, but they've just been absolutely pants. The last person to score for them in the last 3 games, is it now, is Greenwood, 4.4 million attacker. Just shite. Ozil, all right, guys, right now you're just talking shite. Now you're just throwing guys we would never get. Kevin De Bruyne is a must. Salah, I personally think, is a must, and either Sterling or Aguero. Duff says, okay. I've got Aguero. I've got De Bruyne. Salah is a must because of his percentage owned. Right, he's been playing consistently. He hasn't been playing great. Tielemans is a really good shout. I really do like that. Paul, Tielemans was on my watch list as a potential game week 9 wild card for Vardy and one other, and just double up on them. Now what I'm thinking just now is that if I'm going to go Aubameyang and Maddison, I could actually change Mount to Tielemans if they decide to go on a crazy run and Mount gets taken out for one of the many wingers that he could possibly get taken out for and rotated with, right? I know Mount is Lampard's golden child, but it's potentially an issue, right? You've seen the Carabao Cup, you've seen all the players that were playing and doing well in the wing position. You've got, let's just have a look, right? Let's just go see how many players that Mount is facing on his own position, right? You've got Pedro can play there. Willian can kind of play there. I think he's more prominent on the right, though. Loftus-Cheek is coming back. Hudson-Odoi is back. That's a lot. And Pulisic, we know, can play on the left, although he's more prominent on the right again. But that's 3 players. And we know that Loftus-Cheek is probably better than him. Hudson-Odoi needs minutes. So, I mean, it's an issue, right? Now, I'm confident in Mount's ability to keep his space just now, but it's a potential issue. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have a plan B for that position. So I know you've just said Tielemans there. I think if that was this position here, my 4th midfielder was to ever come in doubt, and therefore I would eventually get Maddison, then I think a Maddison Tielemans double up is not the worst idea. So it's actually something I've been thinking about. Abel says, I think downgrade Firmino to Greenwood and Cantwell to Salah Sterling. Yeah, but I really like Firmino. See, that's the thing. I really, really do like him. Mount Defo has that position. Lamps loves him. I know, he does. And it's weird because, I mean, they have such good players, but they're all kind of injured at the same time. So Mount's been able to shine. But I reckon that wouldn't be the case, this whole Lamps loves Mount thing, if they were all kind of rotating from the start, right? We knew at the very beginning that Chelsea had good assets, and we knew that we were going to be watching them and then jump on whoever's cheapest and also playing well. And Mount is great value, Abraham's great value, no brainers just now, but I am cautious that I will potentially need to jump on someone else in the next couple game weeks if he does see to get rotation. But the good thing is that Chelsea are in Europe and they've got a cup to be contending with, right? So there are minutes for their less needed players like Hudson-Odoi and stuff. Like, there is places they can play just now without taking Mount's place from the Premier League. So it's not a worry enough that I need to deal with it. So we're all good. Firmino purple patch is over soon. No. He's going to be great. Crow Costa says, how about going Aguero, Mads, Mount out and playing Vardy, Sterling and Yarmolenko? Got enough cash for that combo? Vardy, Sterling and Yarmolenko. I would pick Aguero over Sterling. It's one of the reasons why I wildcarded. Aguero has just way better stats, and I can read them out again. Where did I put them? I put them somewhere. Ugh. I can show you. Actually, you know what? I'll show you this. You guys can use this as well, right? This is something that I discovered recently. So if we click on this and go to Premier League comparison, you actually have it on the site. On this site. Go to stats, player comparison, right? So we can add Sterling. Oh, search Sterling. Can you guys see that? Okay, yeah, you can. Raheem Sterling, and we can pick Aguero. You don't need any fancy other sites or anything like that, right? So here we go. Time played, that's important. So let's go to matches first. Minutes played, 450 to 447 for Aguero. So they've got pretty much identical starting times, right? 5 goals for Raheem, 8 goals for Aguero. Goals per match, 1.3 for Aguero, just 1 goal per match for Sterling. But remember, that's average. We got to remember that Sterling scored a hat-trick in game week 1 and then has only scored 2 goals in 5 games for the rest of the time, so that's an issue. Minutes per goal 90, minutes per goal 56 for Aguero, which is perfect. If he gets taken out on the 60th minute mark from every game, it means that he's got 56 minutes, then he'll get your goal. You won't even have to worry about rotation. That was a joke for anyone who gives a shit. Shots 18 to 25, although he is a lot more accurate with his shooting, Sterling. You kind of want your striker to be firing all the time, and as long as, you know, half of them are on target, then it's not a big deal. And he's got near enough 47%. That's pretty good. He's also on pens, which is important. So yeah, and also it doesn't show it here, but Aguero has more assists than Sterling. Sterling has 0 assists. How do I show you guys that? He has 0 assists. There we go. And Aguero has 2 assists. So if you're looking at just these two on your wild card, Sterling is worse than Aguero right now. He's also being rotated, whereas Aguero has all of the Premier League and has played none of the other games. So we're probably going to see Aguero starting every Premier League game and Jesus starting every Cup game. And that's just probably going to how it's run until they face difficult opponents, and then Aguero might start to get rested. But for now, and that's based on podcasts that I've been listening to, Scoutcast said it, blah, 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 and all the history that we've seen with Pep. So I'm not too worried about Aguero's downsides, being rotation and being old and blah, 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 because he's just banging. He's just a fucking monster. So I can't go Sterling, which means I only have 2 other spots in my old attack. And I want Abraham. And if I'm not going to go Firmino, and I'm not going to go Vardy, because I'd prefer Maddison over Vardy, then it's going to have to be Firmino, right? Or go back to Pukki. So that's where we are. Will we find out in time for the weekend if Maddison is available? We should do. If we get a good presser, and he's probably one of their most impressive players just now, and everyone's going to be asking about it. So I can't see a world in which Brendan Rodgers isn't asked that question and doesn't say it. But there was something on Twitter that I seen recently that said that he was training, so that's good. What else did I miss? Zinchenko, Lundstrom, or Dean, and is Kelly back? Kelly's not back yet. We'll see if he's back. We always knew that he potentially won't be keeping his place, but I've got a back 3, so I don't really need to worry about it. As long as one of Kelly, Lundstrom, and Rico plays, then I'll be okay. Who do you support, Dave? Celtic. I don't support any Premier League teams. It's probably a good thing, because I know how biased people can be. You know, some people send me their team and they're like, "Oh, rate my team. What do you think?" And I see Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Guendouzi on their team, and you just know they're an Arsenal supporter, because I mean, why do that to yourself? But it's things like that. I know I probably wouldn't do that, and there are managers out there that don't get all tied up with our team. But yeah, no, I'm glad I don't support anyone in the Premier League. You support Swansea, so I'm the same as you. Yeah. Keep your supporting and your FPLing just separate. Rule number 1. Any 7.5 forward is better than 7.5 mid. That's a good point. There are a lot of better strikers in that price bracket just now. It seems like that's the way to go, isn't it? Sterling will score a hat-trick this week versus Everton after you've said that. Oh yeah, definitely. Tompkins is back, so Kelly won't get a start now. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate, right? I might actually ding in Kelly and just go 4.0 and save the 0.1 million and just kind of chill out. We'll see. I'm an Arsenal supporter and almost actively avoid them in FPL, given that they break my heart in real life too often anyway. I read this this article that was talking about the likelihood of happiness by supporting a team, and it basically, too long didn't read, suggested that you are going to feel worse as a human in life. You're going to feel more downs than ups if you're a football fan. Which is amazing, right? Which is why you get so many glory hunters, because it's just nicer. It's just nicer to win. I know a person who supports Arsenal, but he always bets against Arsenal winning, so he's always happy after a match. Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. Arsenal do win sometimes. Just sometimes, though. So yeah, let's move on to the questions. That's my wild card. I'm pretty sure that the second choice that I've got here is going to be based on who I think is going to be playing for City, because I want a triple up. I think they're just they're scoring 8 goals a game, dude. They're gonna be good. So yeah, let's get to the questions. And I did this cool little slideshow. I hope it works, right? I hope it works. How do we do this? Yes. All right. Questions from Reddit and questions from Twitter. And I picked the best ones. Let's do the first one. Are clean sheets a thing anymore? Should I rip up my defense and go more attacking? Adrian asks. Well, Adrian, I have ripped up my team and I'm going all out attack. The only player that I have that's over 4.6 million in my defense is Alexander-Arnold, and it's simply because he is playing like a winger with a potential of clean sheets, and that's it. There's no other defender that's doing that right now other than Lundstrom, and he's a no-brainer because he's so cheap. So I think moving all of your funds, if possible, as much funds as you can up front, but you still need to be flexible, right? So you still need to, if Dean starts banging again, you can't be of the mindset of, oh, I mean, I've just moved all my funds, so I'm not going to go back. There still might be value behind, in defense that we're not seeing right now. And although the first 6 game weeks have been crazy in terms of clean sheets, it doesn't mean that it's not going to settle down. It's just ridiculously attacking heavy right now. So yeah, I don't think that there's any reason to go big at the back anymore. I mean, there was no real such thing as big at the back. It was just high value strategy, and it doesn't really work if teams are playing erratically and they're maybe underperforming, like Chelsea are underperforming in their defense, and Zuma fucked me in the ass for 4 weeks straight. Dreamed about killing him so many times. I'm just kidding, Zuma. I know you watch the show. So yeah. All right. So yeah, I think the answer is yes. Second question: Bernardo Silva plus Firmino, or Cantwell plus Aguero? Now I'm going to leave that question for 2 seconds because the next thing on the slide actually shows my thinking on that. What do you guys think about that, though? Cantwell plus Aguero, says Daffs. Cantwell and Aguero, Cantwell and Aguero, Cantwell and Aguero. Yeah. So Cantwell, if we look at his fixtures, there he is there. The sexy beast. Someone messaged me saying, why every time you pull up a player, you always call them sexy. And I'm like, yeah, because they score, they do well. If they do well, they're sexy, and if they do shite, they're disgusting. That's it. You're good looking to me if you score goals, and that's including Griffiths, who I know it just looks like a ball. So yeah, that's just how it works. All right. Back to Cantwell. Away to Crystal Palace, we're not expecting much. Aston Villa at home, we're expecting. Bournemouth away, we're not expecting so much. Man United at home, we're expecting something. It's basically just at home they're dangerous, and away they're not. And that's simply because of the history, right? Away, shite. Away, shite. Away, shite. Home, 10. Home, 7. Home, 6. And that's against Chelsea and Man City. It's not like they can't show up against big teams at home. So I have no problem with Manchester United. I have no problem with, Arsenal at home. I think every home game that's going to be coming up, we're expecting something. So it means that half the time Cantwell is going to be good, right? And we know that Aguero has banged every single game. So we're expecting him to continue that, which means that Cantwell and Aguero are probably going to be the best choices for that. So yeah, in that respect. But I do want to look at Bernardo Silva because I think it's really important for me on my wildcard. All right. Third question comes from Jehovah's Thickness. What a name. What a question. The question is, what's the biggest dick other than your own you've ever seen in person? Now, I didn't specifically say FPL questions when I asked people to send me in what they want. I didn't say FPL. I should have. I should have. So he sent that question in, and I laughed a lot, and then didn't actually think about it. I actually don't know. But I do think that my dad did that whole like, oh, you know, I'm a man's man, and I'm gonna, you know, let him just. I'll walk out the shower or something. He'll see me. He's a wee guy. I'm an adult, and he's just gonna think I've got a big dick for the rest of his life. There was a Reddit post ages ago with someone saying that they're gonna do that because their dad did that, and I was like, ha ha ha. Oh, that's mental. Oh wait, no, I think my dad did that. What the fuck is wrong with dads, right? But I think it's my dad's dick. I think he's the biggest one I've ever seen. And that's because I was like 5 years old or whatever, and I was just, you know, you're a wee guy, you're playing in the shower, and you're with your dad. That's just how it is. So yeah, I don't really look at dicks too much. I'm a straight male. So yeah. The answer is my dad. Thank you very much for that question, Andy. I really do appreciate it. I love bringing the, just increasing the stream professionalism from good to great. All right, and we lost 3 viewers. Oh, yeah, my dad's dick, biggest one. All right, next. So, by the way, did you see that? Just click a button and it just slides over to the next bit. I fucking, professional. Right. So this is my little Excel spreadsheet-esque player for every City player that I might want, and their time in the Premier League, the last game in the Premier League, and the time played in the Cup. And I thought that this would be good for everyone to see. It's much easier to visualize when it's in front of you. So we've got Sterling, who we know blanked because he didn't play in that 8-0 drubbing of Watford. And then he played 73 minutes in the Cup, and he was taken out, and Mahrez was put into his place. You can see there 19 minutes for Mahrez in the Cup, because they played 2 minutes of extra time. Excuse me. And Mahrez also played 90 minutes. So the only players that didn't play in the Premier League against Watford were Sterling and Jesus, and they played 90 minutes for Mad Jesus and 73 minutes for Sterling. So if we count it all up, Bernardo actually played the most, 180 minutes. So that to me suggests he's not playing on the weekend, because they're playing Champions League against Dynamo Zagreb, and although they're not the strongest of opponents, they're still going to need goals, right? So I reckon that Bernardo's going to be rested on the weekend, which means that Mahrez will be played. So the lowest 3 there is Aguero, Sterling, and Mahrez. So I'm pretty sure that Mahrez is going to be playing on the weekend. And then if we look at the previous history, it doesn't look like Mahrez has actually ever played more than one, or started more than one game this season for City. So that's actually a worry. So what's he going to do? Because he didn't play him in the Cup. And if he's going to be playing him against Zagreb, then that means he's only played 19 minutes in the last game, and then he's not going to be playing on the weekend, which means in just over a week he's only played 19 minutes of professional football. He's not going to be match fit for a European match, right? So I'm expecting him to maybe be subbed off if he's going to be playing against Zagreb, and if he's not subbed off, then I'm going to be pretty happy if I'm an owner, because that means that he'll most likely skip the Champions League game and then play against, who is it they're playing in game week 8? Wolves at home, right? Which is an awesome fixture. So yeah, so I think it's going to be an upfront of Aguero, Sterling, and Mahrez. So to the previous person who asked Bernardo Silva and Firmino or Aguero and Cantwell, Bernardo Silva is going to be benched at least once in the next 2, so it's got to be Aguero, right? Easy peasy, easy peasy. Who's your captain this game week? We'll talk about captaincy near the end, as usual. But yeah, I think it's going to be Abraham. Spoiler alert. All right, next questions. How good should our bench be? Should we have one nailed on good player to take first spot each week? Or is that a waste of cash? How much do we spend on our bench? And that was from Keith. Keith sends really good questions every week. Thank you very much, Keith. If you're in the chat, give us a wave. so I can say thanks in person-ish. I'll type it out. Like, right, ready? Here we go. Thanks, Keith. See, we're communicating. Bam. All right. How good should our bench be? Well, in the last 6, or probably from game week 1 to game week 5, I hadn't needed my bench. I didn't need it, not once. And then in game week 6, Sterling and Zinchenko were both benched. And I only had 1 playing bench. So it meant last week I actually only fielded 10 players. Which is obviously a bit of an issue, right? Because you want your playing bench to actually if they need to be coming out, to actually play, right? The problem is that I've seen people with like McGinn as first sub, or Ederson as first, not for Ederson, Emerson, I was gonna say, as first sub, or Kante or Jorginho, you know, those 5 million-ish players that are just sitting there. The problem with that is that they're never gonna get points. They're never gonna get points anyway. So why have them on your bench, right? It'd be much better to have Diop as your 4.5. Like, don't spend points on players and think, oh, don't worry about it. If they don't get points, it doesn't matter because they're sitting on the bench. Because they're not getting you points. Simple as that. You don't need to be putting money into Kante, Jorginho, Noble, all these players that are sitting on your bench doing fuck all in real life and doing fuck all for you in FPL, right? That's why you want a bench with, you know, last season we had Wan-Bissaka, perfect bench, and then ended up actually being most people's, you know, starting 11 because they're cheap, they're nailed, and they can potentially bring points as well. So that's why defenders are so good on your bench, because they've actually got something to give. They don't need to have individual great performances. As long as the team keeps a clean sheet, they're golden, right? Whereas if you have Lamella on your bench, he not only needs to come onto your team, but he needs to come on having done well himself to get a goal or an assist. So he needs to be playing well. So for me, on my bench, it's going to be Kelly and Lundstrom and El Neni. And I don't need him at all. He's going to be third. And Kelly might not play. Lundstrom definitely plays every week, as we've seen. And I'm going to be just swapping out Lundstrom and Rico. Now, I'm not 100% sure on Kelly. I wish he was playing. And if someone knows of a 4.0 defender that is playing, then hit me up and I will put them in instead, because I want someone who's playing 90 minutes. Now, if I don't go for Mahrez and I decide to kind of downgrade to someone, then I might jump Kelly up to a Tomori, or, you know, someone that will sit on the bench that's 4.5 million that won't play. So yeah, you need bench players, but you don't need to spend cash on them, right? No one over 4.5 million. Just pump all your money up front. Make sure your bench is playing. That's all you need. More defenders, the better. Because, like I said, it's a team game for defenders. It's an individual game for attackers. All right. Hanley, before he got injured, I think. Yeah, I think we've got our bestest ever mod in the whole entire planet, Jim Bob, saying that he's not going to be playing for a while. So, unfortunately, Hanley's out. Daft's had the Lundstrom luck. Nice one. I have Aguero and Mane. I might consider Mane captain, but I feel the Sheffield away is quite tricky. Yeah, Sheffield have been doing really good. We'll do a wee captaincy thing towards the end. Alright, next question. Best Dean replacement. So, just a recap on Dean. He did well game week 1 because they kept a clean sheet. He did well game week 2. They kept a clean sheet, and I think he got an assist, maybe, in one of those weeks. And then he's played shite. For whatever reason, Everton have been underperforming in their defence, and we can easily see that if we go into this table and we click on expected goals. This is understat.com, by the way. Love it. Lovely site. I love looking at it. Expected goals against. We click on that, right? And we find Everton. Everton, they're supposed to have only conceded 6.8, so maybe 7 goals, maybe 7. However, they've actually conceded 9. So it shows that they're actually underperforming and they should be keeping more clean sheets, but they aren't. And they've only scored 5 goals, which is another reason why Dean is shite. Because people, like I said at the start of the stream, people keep saying, oh, you know, Dean's crossing is so good, you might as well keep him, right? And I agree that we're only really talking about Dean replacements because he's playing City. And City's a shite fixture. But we all knew that he was eventually going to be playing City. So it's not like a big thing. However, that plus they've been playing shite, plus they've only been scoring 5 goals, now it's a big thing. So Dean replacements is very simple. Just drop him for someone that is either Otamendi if you want to have a shout out with those City defenders. If you're on your wild card, that means that you don't really need to deal with Otamendi, or you know, you can move to 3 attackers if you want. If you don't, then Otamendi. So it's pretty much him. Odie is just, he's too good. He's always in the box for corners. He's nailed until you know, their main man is back, and I think that's not until like December or something, or November. So we really don't have to deal with it for a long time. And Mendy, Zinchenko, and then Walker and Cancelo, they're all rotation risks because now we're getting into Champions League. So yeah, I think Otamendi's just a no-brainer, right? And he's cheaper than Dean, so it's just one shot down. If you don't have a Liverpool defender, you don't really need to do that either because their fixtures are bad. If you really want one, you have to get either Robertson or Trent Alexander-Arnold because they're just not keeping clean sheets, and Virgil van Dijk's not doing anything else. I mean, he trolled everyone in Game Week 1 by getting a goal and then has done nothing since. So anyone who doesn't own him, it's actually good that he scored in Game Week 1 because yes, those other players got an extra 6 points or whatever, but it meant that they have kept him for a long time potentially in hopes of that happening again because of those good feelings they got in Game Week 1, right? But he has done fuck all. I've gone Dean to Soy, Barnes to Tammy this week. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Barnes actually dropped, which is crazy, but I mean, Tammy's just been playing out his mind. Dean to Soy is a great shout. So for me, I've moved Dean and I'm going to be getting Soy is the same thing. You don't need a lot of money invested in a player if you're only looking for clean sheets. So Soy, Rico, Lundstrom, Tamori, maybe. I mean, if we look at this table again, Chelsea have been playing okay, and they are massively underperforming, right? They should concede 8, which is still more than Everton, right? By a goal, by a whole goal. But they've actually conceded 13 goals. Now, fair enough, 4 of them came in Game Week 1 against Manchester United, and that was hilarious, but they'd still be overperforming, or underperforming. They just keep conceding stupid goals, which is just annoying, right? 2 own goals by Zuma. Fucking Zuma. And a few others, right? A few other silly goals, which is funny because they got rid of David Luiz, so you'd expect that not to happen. But Kante's back, and Rudiger's going to be back soon-ish. Hopefully. We're not 100% sure on what's happening with that. I hope Lamp says something. But that means that, you know, you're only paying 4.5 million, and their fixture run is good enough that you really don't need to worry about a 4.5 million player. Because how much money, or how many clean sheets, does a 4.5 million defender really need to get to be worth it, right? Say, for example, Pope. If Pope gets 2 clean sheets in the next 6, you're going to be like, all right, that's okay. I mean, he's only 4.5 million. He's only in there for clean sheets. He's probably going to get a bunch of saves anyway, blah, 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 right? So what if Chelsea only keep 2 clean sheets in the next 6? So they've got Brighton, Southampton, Newcastle, Burnley, Watford, Crystal Palace. Okay, and that's home, away, home, away, home, away. No. Brighton at home, Newcastle at home, and Crystal Palace at home. The rest are away. So those are decent fixtures for defense, great fixtures for attack. I think Tamori is an okay pick if you already have Lundstrom and you already have Soy. I was going to say Soy Boy, but that means something completely different. And I don't really know how to pronounce his name. Soyuncho. Yeah, Soy. If you don't have those two, I would get them first, and then start thinking about maybe jumping on like this newest Chelsea edition. But the problem is, like, how many times is he going to play when Rudiger's back? Like, is he going to take it? Is Christensen going to take his spot again? So you're kind of hoping that with Tomori, you're hoping that some injuries stay injured, which is always kind of a game. It's almost like getting Kelly, right? You're waiting to get his, blanket pulled from underneath him. Soyenachu. Thanks, Daphs. Soyenachu. Awesome. I hope Zinchenko starts this week. He should do. Zinchenko was rested because he played 90 minutes every single game. So I'm assuming he's going to get rested. And there's no need to put Mendy in harm's way. Like, he's still building up his fitness. You could just play him against Zagreb. I would do it. If I was Football Manager in the shit right now, I'd probably play Zinchenko and just play Mendy next week. But we're not Pep. Pep is the rotation king. All right. Thanks for the question. The question's answer is very simply, if you don't have a Soy, get him. If you don't have Lundstrom, get him. If you want City defender, go for Otamendi, and then everyone else is sub to those three. All right. Good. Next question. I love this shit. I love just being able to press that. I don't have to do anything. I've done it all. We're already sorted. Love it. If your FPL account has been hacked and you were held to ransom, what would be your break-even point in money, in pounds, to recover it again? FPL Shiny. I was actually going to say, I was going to tweet a few things about this hacking shit, and I thought, no, because if I say anything, they might target me. I don't know how they did it. I think it was third-party stuff, but I'm like freaking out a little bit about it, and I didn't really want to talk about it. But then, people got their accounts back, and they're fucked, and they've got a wild card and shit. So that sucks. And I mean, hacking is fun, but not for the people you hack. So please don't hack me. Go hack like Trump's Twitter page or some shit, right? Do something fun that would help everyone. Don't hack me. Don't hack anyone in FPL. It's just shite. However, the question isn't would they? It's if it's already happened, how much would I pay to get my account back? The answer is 0. I am sitting at a very shit overall rank right now. So shit, in fact, that if they stole it, I could just say, oh, that was the season my account got stolen. And I've already taken screenshots of my history. So my really, really good 5,000th rank last season is saved. And I'm not that sentimental. So I've not been playing for that long that, I need my 10 seasons kept with me because, it's something I build up. I'd probably make an account. I could call it FPL Dave now. It might be quite good. So yeah, I wouldn't pay fucking nothing. We don't negotiate with terrorists, Shiny. An FPL YouTuber was hacked and 90 transfers were made, and he's got to Wildcard. Yeah, it's Andy. Andy, let's talk FPL. He's been on the stream before, just as a chat. He was just chatting. He wasn't actually on the stream. He was just in the chat. And I spoke to him about it. And he mentioned that, there was nothing they could do, and he's got to wildcard. And I watched his video on whether wildcarding was the right option or just jumping on the free hit and maybe keeping his value. But after building his team, he recognized that actually, he quite liked to wildcard, and he doesn't mind about the value. He's not going to keep as many players as he thought he was. So that's decent. So I'm happy for Andy. Friend of the channel. I appreciate you. He's also streaming right now. So if you want to go and have a look at his shit, man, just jump ship and go. Please don't. Please don't. We're having fun times. But he is. I'm quite interested to see what his wild card ends up, because as fate has it, we're wild carding at the same time. So that'd be cool. Right. So did I answer the question? Yeah, the question is nothing, Shiny. Nothing. Wouldn't pay nothing. Did you see someone hack the Carabao Cups account? No, I didn't. I mean, I don't know why you would, but yeah. No, I didn't see that. Did they do anything awesome? I hope they did something. Will Martial be good from Perry C92? Well, Perry C92, probably not Perry C92. Martial is part of Manchester United, and Manchester United had a very good first game, an okay second game, and have completely shat the bed game weeks 3 to 6. If he comes back, Rashford then goes on the wing, and he's better on the wing, so that's okay. But it means that James is then going to be playing a little bit worse, and they've not really got replacements there. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I would do. If I had Martial right now, I'd probably get rid of him. If I wasn't on my wild card and I've kept him this long, I mean, I'm not sure, right? I mean, Rashford's injured-ish, so there's not that much to debate. Like, Greenwood could be playing right now. They've also got other little guys that are ready to play, but their team is just full of like good players coming back from injury or injured, and the rest of them is like Juan Mata, who by the way is super underappreciated, but just, you know, fell to shit along with the rest of the Manchester United players. So right now Manchester United is a complete like trap, and we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna stay away. Martial can be good if they're at fully, you know, their full bill of health. Pogba's back, Rashford's there, James is banging, Martial's up front, and he's cheap and he's out of position, so of course as an FPL asset he's still a viable option, but right now why risk it? No point in risking it. There was a picture of Allardyce, and over it they put Allardyce, you fat cunt. That was when they did the West Ham thing. Yeah. Rashford out for a while. As a United fan, I say stay away. Yeah, no, Grapevines, I absolutely agree. I think you have to stay away, right? There's no way you could jump on Martial right now. If you have him right now, wait for the presser, see what he says. If he doesn't, man, it's time to get rid. There's so many other better players. You could get Mount for that. You know, you could get Maddison if he's injury free. There's just so many better players. I got Martial in for 1 week and he scored, and then I sold him. Decent. Decent. At least he scored, right? So yeah, Martial, yeah, no, he will not be good. Not until they're back to full health and they sack their board and shit, right? Thanks for your question though, appreciate it. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Pepe. I have Kevin De Bruyne, Son, Mount, Cantwell, and Eriksen in midfield, and need a replacement for Eriksen. From Mick Hailtal. Mick Hailtal. This came from Reddit. Thank you very much for your question, buddy. It leads me to an interesting topic, because whenever anyone asked me, should I get Pep or Son, my answer was like Son, of course, because he's proven, and Pepe only scored a pity goal so far. And also, Tierney and Bellerin aren't fully back yet, so they're not fully fit yet, so it means that Pep might need more time to develop, because he's still a little Arsenal egg, and he hasn't hatched yet, right? So the problem here is he actually has Son. So what do we do? Do we still like Pepe? Do we still like him? So I thought, let's take, 5 minutes and we'll just go over and see what we can see in the stats, okay? So let's have a stat hunt, right? First of all, Arsenal's fixtures, other than Man United, are great, right? Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace at home, Wolves at home. Really good attacking fixtures. Man United, you could even argue, is a good attacking fixture. The only one out of the next 6 that I would say is a difficult game is Leicester away. And that's because, if we go into understat, right, the best team outside the top 6, actually beating many teams in the top 6, Leicester. They're not even overperforming by that much. 0.69 goals they're overperforming. So they should have conceded 5.6. They've conceded 5. That is the joint lowest amount of goals conceded in the league right now. And they're not overperforming. Even Liverpool are overperforming a bit more. They should have conceded 6 goals. They've only conceded 5, right? So that's nuts. That means that Leicester are doing better in defence than Liverpool right now, stat-wise. So Leicester's defence is awesome, which means that Arsenal aren't playing too well against them. But other than that, Manchester United are heavily underperforming. But then, you've got, who did we say they've got? They've got Bournemouth, who are just playing terribly. in defense. They've got, oh, I've forgotten already. They've got Sheffield, Crystal Palace, and Wolves. Sheffield have been playing good, so that's a bit of an issue, but they still conceded 6 goals. You know, they're overperforming. Crystal Palace, they can still concede. They've been playing well-ish, right? But not away. That's the main thing about Crystal Palace, is that away they've been playing poorly, and Arsenal are playing them at home, as you can see right here. So yeah, I think they're good attacking fixtures. The next thing to note is that Pepe, here is a pass map and average positioning for Arsenal in the last game against Aston Villa. Now, although they didn't play well against Aston Villa and they got a man sent off and everything, they still scored 3 goals. And if you can see here in the bottom left, it says most progressive passing received, which means the most kind of like through balls and stuff, and the player that's highest up the pitch receiving balls is Pepe, right? And you can see his average position is just slightly higher than Aubameyang's, and he's also got more passes than Aubameyang. So that's promising. That's almost, you know, Son-like, if it's Son and Kane to Pepe and Aubameyang, right? It's actually decent. So I'm pretty happy with that in terms of Pep. Is it Pep or Pepe? I'm assuming it's Pepe. But anyway, that definitely flies in his favor, right? That he's up higher than Aubameyang. It's just the problem is he's actually not been playing that well. He's kind of scuffing every chance he has. So for me, if you want to go for him, you can absolutely do that. But you would need to really monitor what you're doing. And I would prefer Eriksen. I know Eriksen hasn't been playing, but I mean, he has to play him more, right? They just lost against Leicester. That was terrible. They lost in the cup. That was terrible. So he's under immense pressure to win the next game. And it's Southampton at home. And how could he not play Eriksen? Unless there's something going on behind the scenes, this big thing that's going on that we can't see, that we don't know what's happening, and Eriksen's just really unhappy they wasn't sold or whatever, right? But he's still been playing. He's still been coming off the bench. So yeah, I don't really know, but I actually would hold Eriksen over getting Pepe right now. So that's my answer to your question, buddy, is that what do I think of Pepe? He's worth it if you're going for a punt and you absolutely have no one else, but to take an actual hit potentially for him or use a free transfer on him, I don't think it's worth it. I like Eriksen better. I know that's an issue. There might be a bit of a problem. We can actually look and see what Eriksen's his minutes per game has been recently. 26, 90, 28, 90, 90, 11. Yeah, he's been playing. And his fixtures are just fucking amazing. Southampton, Brighton, Watford, those are some juicy fixtures. I would keep Eriksen for those, see how he does, and then get rid of him. Yeah. How old am I? 17. Do I look 17? The answer is yes. No, I've been gifted youth. I am 26. I know, right? It's mental. I don't know why. My dad said he didn't hit puberty until he was in his 30s. So I've just got young genes. Thanks for that question. That was great. All right, I think that's all the questions done. Do we have any more? Nope. That's see, it's a wee slideshow. There you go. So that's all the questions done. Thank you very much, everyone, for sending the questions in. And yeah, we'll. I think that's everything I wanted to say. We're actually on time right now, guys. We're on time. That's nuts. For the first time ever, we are on time. Let's put Mahrez in there just now. I want to put Mahrez in there. Mahrez. Bam. So this is potentially the team if Maddison is injured. And if he is not, then it'll be Maddison and Aubameyang. Really, Dave, you're 26. Oh no, we're talking about it. Can you rate my team? Yes! We're going to be moving on to the Rate My Team section. Thank you very much for watching. If you're on YouTube right now, if you want your team rated, just send it in. You know, I tweet all the time about when I'm doing streams, Monday and Thursday, and I can rate your team there. So yeah, let's move on. Cut. Perfect. That was for YouTube. That wasn't for you guys. Let's stay here. Right, rate my teams. If you want to send me your team just now, absolutely do that. You can just type it. Yeah, Daphs, you can just type it. What I'll do is I can create it if you want. Daph's our newest fan, our newest familia, our newest big fat sexy club member. Liam, if you're still here, you can send your team in even though you sent me it this morning. I seen that in the chat a little bit ago. You can absolutely do that. There's someone on Reddit that also sent me their team that I want to get to, which was really nice of them. So I'm going to do that. Do. Messages. Vizal, you sent me your team. I'm going to look at that in a second. Tin sent his team in as well. And also, I'm really sorry, but is it JSDP? Thanks, Tin, for sending your shit. I will look at those too. So we've got Liam, we've got Tin, we've got JSDP, and we've got Vijal and Liam. But first, let's do Daphs. 15 or 11 players. No, type. Give me the whole thing. Give me the whole thing. Give me the whole thing. Right, you type it, and we'll do Liam's just now. We'll do Liam's because he's my buddy, and he's on his wild card right now. Right, here we go. All right, can we all see that? All right, so on Monday, Liam hit the button. That was really, really cool. He did it just after our stream when we were chatting about his team. And this is the team that he's came up with. Okay, so we've got Pope, we've got Soy, Diop, Robertson, McGinn, Salah, Mount, Son, De Bruyne, Aubameyang, Abraham. First things first, Liam, what did I tell you? You need Aguero or Sterling. You can't just not have them. And right now you've picked Son, and I love him. That's awesome. But if you want Son and you want Salah, then you can't have Aubameyang. You need to have Aguero. McGinn is a good choice, but he's running out of good fixtures. Eventually McGinn, his fixture runs over. And that's the transfer waiting to happen because, you know, he's scoring erratically, but it's against weaker opposition other than Arsenal. But I mean, the point still stands, weaker opposition. So yeah, I don't know. I think McGinn's an iffy one there. Diop has been overperforming. I don't think that Manchester or West Ham are going to be keeping too many clean sheets later on. They've just been lucky. I think they've just been lucky. They haven't really been doing that well, and we can see that when we look at our little table here. Expected goals: West Ham 11.7, so nearly 12 goals they're expected to get scored into. And they've only conceded 7, which is really, really good. So I think they've just been slightly lucky there in defense, and we're going to be seeing a lot of more goals, I think, coming up. So yeah, I don't like Diop in there, especially as your front runner. I would change Diop to Lundstrom and then put Rico on the front lines for you. Robertson, you've picked over Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't agree with that. And the money that you get from Diop to Lundstrom should cover the Robertson to Trent, I think. So I think I would do that. In terms of who you should be going for to change Salah, to ask you to take Salah out to get Sterling is a big ask, but I think that's a good thing to do. If you're on your wild card, I would take Salah out, put El Neni in because you don't need him, and change Brewster. Although Brewster is a great choice, I would change him to Aguero. Liam, your team is changing by the hour. Yeah, that's what happens when you're on your wild card, dude. Yeah, it's Raw says maybe Salah to Cantwell and Brewster to Aguero. I completely agree. I think you need Aguero. I think Salah he's gotten worse this season slightly. He's got bad fixtures coming up. He's not Firmino, so he's not really going to bang against the top 6 like Firmino. We know he will. So yeah. Oh, Seth, you also sent yours on Twitter. I'll have a look at that as well. We're without our mod today, so I'm doing everything myself, which is crazy. But Liam, hopefully that helps. I know we spoke about it today. I know we talked about it earlier, but yeah, I think those are all the changes that I would make. It's interesting because I'm on my wildcard too. Seth, I've got your shit. We'll look at it next. I'm on my wildcard too, so I can really only tell you what I'm going to be doing, and you can change your team drastically. You're probably not that far behind me in terms of value, or you might even be ahead of me in value. So I think, yeah, I mean, whatever my wildcard turns out to be is going to be what I think you should get. So you would need to tell me the key people that you want to keep, and then we can work around that. Like, if you have to have Son, then it means you can't have Salah, kind of thing. All right. But thank you very much, buddy, for letting me look at that again. And I'm going to keep very up to date with you and let you know what I'm doing. All right. All right, Daffs, you mad fucking dafty. Can't send me your team in. You've got Fabianski, Zinchenko, Peters, Dean, Lundstrom, Kelly, Mount, Salah, Cantwell, Kevin De Bruyne, Guendouzi, Aguero, Abraham, Pukki. Okay, let's make that. I think let's make that real quick. And how many free transfers have you got and shit? Would be interesting to know that. Fabianski, let's add him. Zinchenko, let's add him. You've done everything. Peters, I'm gonna keep Loughton in there instead of Peters. Dean. This. Please skip this. I'm just building this team. If you're watching on YouTube, just skip it. Oh, you had Lundstrom. God damn it. You don't have a. Oh wow. You don't have Robertson or anything. And Kelly, right? Kelly. You've got Aguero. You've got Pukki. You've got Abraham. You've got Mount. You've got Salah. You've got Cantwell. You've got Salah. And you've got Guendouzi. Alright, so this is your team, right? Roughly. I know I've got Lawton instead of Peters, and I've got Woodman instead of whoever you've got. Alright. Daffs. Oh, it is Lawton, not Peters. Oh, good. Oh, awesome. Have you got any free... how many free transfers? You said I've done everything. Have you got any free transfers, any money in the bank or anything? Because right now, I've got 2.2 million in the bank for this team that I've made. But you might have less, right? Or you might have more. So I'm going to assume you have, maybe one free transfer or 1.8 million, you think? Okay, awesome. That's cool. All right, so right now, your front three are banging and your midfield is banging except for Guendouzi. But he is... he can be benched. So right now, I think your bench is going to be Guendouzi, Kelly, Lundstrom first on the bench. Or maybe Guendouzi first on the bench. So your bench is fine. So you're playing Lowton, Zinchenko, Dean, De Bruyne, Cantwell, Salah, Mount, Aguero, Pukki, Abraham. Right? Your front three are amazing. Keep them the same. Never change. That's fucking awesome. De Bruyne, Cantwell, Salah, Mount. They're also pretty good. One of the slight fires that I can see is that you've got Pukki and Cantwell, which means you're hoping that they both bang on home games because we know they don't play very well in away games. So that means that, you know, 2 of your 11 starters, so nearly, you know, 20% of your starting 11 are only banging every second game. And I actually think they've got 2 away games in a row coming up. Do they? Or is that their away game, last game and this game? It is. Okay, so they've got an away game, home game, away game, home game, away game, home game for ages. So, I mean, it's not the worst. Cantwell's only 4.9 million. You might have got him when he was cheaper, so it's not a huge deal, but it is something I would consider thinking about, right? The biggest thing that I can see that's a shambles is it's not a shambles, just fires, more fires, is Zinchenko and Dean, right? So Loughton's got 2 good fixtures left, so we don't really need to deal with him. Fabianski's got a bunch of good fixtures, so we don't really need to deal with him. But Zinchenko's now an issue, although I think he will start against Everton, so he's not an immediate issue. And Dean is, you know, he's playing Man City. I'm not a big fan of benching players that I've spent a lot of money on. So last season, I never benched Robertson against City, and I think he got an assist or something. So, like, it's just, it can happen, right? He could potentially get a goal. I mean, City do play rather attackingly, and it's not unlike them to get countered. So, Dean might unlock something, you never know. I can see the appeal to not play him on the bench. But yeah, I think if you're keeping Dean for Man City, and then he's got Burnley away, West Ham, you know what? I would probably use your free. I would stay just now. Everything in your team's fine this week-ish, right? Because obviously we know that Dean's playing City. But Zinchenko is now an issue, and they don't really have. They're playing teams that might potentially score anyway, right? They've not got, like, no one's safe anymore. It's really hard to read who's getting clean sheets and who's not. So for me, I think Zinchenko can be changed to Otamendi, but at the same time, you could potentially change him to, like, Rico or something, right? And that's you saving a lot of money. And then when you eventually get rid of Dean, which would be game week 9, you could go down to Soy for Leicester, who have just finished playing Liverpool and now have a great run. So you could go Zinchenko to Rico next week, and then the week after Dean to Soy, and then that would actually give you enough money to go Pukki to Vardy if you wanted, right? Who has an amazing fixture run, is going to be banging in loads of goals. Or you could go Firmino if you want. It means that it's going to be game week 10 before you get him, and by game week 10, you know, their fixtures are nearly finished. You know, they've got Man City and that's it, and then everything else is pretty good for Liverpool. So you could do that. Cantwell for Madison's, yeah, that as well. You could go Zinchenko down to Rico and then Cantwell for Madison's. Yeah, one of the issues is you have to play Cantwell. He's more of like a first bencher. So upgrading him is also a good option. I might even say, if you can, upgrade Guendouzi instead of Cantwell, because I'd rather have Cantwell's first bench than Guendouzi. So you could do Zinchenko down to Rico, and then Guendouzi up to Madison's, like this. I forgot that I could touch my team. It kind of sounded sexual, didn't it? Madison in there, and then you've got enough for. You could even get Aurier if you wanted, but yeah. So that's what I would do, and then you've still got, you know, $1 million to play with later on if you really wanted to go Dean to like Alexander-Arnold or something, right? You could just about afford that. So yeah, I think that's what I would do with your team. It is a great team. I'm pretty much wildcarding to what you have, so congratulations, buddy. You're doing really well. And thank you for sending your team in. I was going to bench Dean because I think he'll get blah, blah. He'll get fucked. He'll get nothing. Tomori, I've already spoke about Tomori. I don't think he's worth it. He's going to be potentially keeping clean sheets. Maybe 2 in the next 6, but you don't know where they're going to come from. So you would need to keep playing him. He also might get his spot taken out depending on how long Christensen is out. Rudiger's coming back as well. Zuma's not going to be benched forever. He's not for me. Liam. So, Dave, did you say go 3-4-3 and go with Tammy, Aguero, and Aubameyang? Yes, and no Salah. I think so, yeah. I'm under 1k in Wales and around 50k overall. He's Wales. You're from Wales. That actually makes sense considering your name, Daffs. I'm going to Wales soon for business, actually. I've never been to Wales, I think. I might have been to a caravan site once, but I was really young. Your real name is Daffyd? Are you kidding me on? Like the gay in the village? Is that why you call yourself Daffs? Daffyd. That's unfortunate that that came out from Little Britain and you were named that. Because I feel like no one's going to call people that anymore because of that. Unfortunate name. Great team, unfortunate name. Really, really well done in your overall, by the way. Doing great. I think your team's banging. Just a few small changes, moving funds up front, the usual chat. All right, I'm going to move on. I've got Seth, if you're still here, I've got your team. So let's have a look at that. There you go. If you can see that. All right, this is Seth's team. Sent it to me on Twitter. Thanks very much, buddy. Seth's here very often. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Your team is actually, I was having a wee look, actually. This is one of the ones that was sent in quite early. You brought Wood in, and I hope you brought him in last week, so you got that brace. That was sweet. Your 0.3 remaining in the bank is also good. You've got a good amount of players. If you've got Robertson in just now, he's not an issue. You've got Otamendi, you've got Pope. I mean, most of the players that you've got, I'm trying to get on my wildcard. So again, you're doing really, really well. Abraham and Mount is a great double up. And like Joe said on the Scoutcast, Abraham's a shield, Mount's a shield, but if you've got both of them, that's a sword. It means that not many people have got both of them. So I really like that. It's kind of the same for Pukki and Cantwell, but unfortunately that away thing that I keep talking about is an issue. De Bruyne and Sterling is great. I would never waste a transfer to go sideways. If you were on your wild card, it would be different. I think you are on your wild card right now, actually. Let me double check. Did you say something while you sent it in? I'm on my wild card. Okay, yeah, sorry. You are on your wild card. Awesome. All right, you're on your wild card, and here's what I'm thinking at the moment. Considering Kelly down to Rico too, desperately want Aubameyang. Think about Woods to Auba, Sterling, Silva in game week 8 for the rest of Arsenal's run. Yeah, I really do like Aubameyang, but it means you're gonna have to get rid of Wood, and I actually much prefer Aguero over Sterling because of everything that we've talked about previously in the stream. Aguero's just over and above the best player in the Premier League right now, and he's showing it every week. He's being rested in all the best places that he should be rested for. He's playing all the games that we want him to be playing for FPL. He's just great, and Sterling is now getting rested. He's he's coming off the bench. Players around him are playing really well. They scored 8 goals without him. You know, he is an amazing player, but Aguero is playing better. If I were you, I would take Salah out and Sterling out and put Aguero in and put Aubameyang in, and then do what you can with the funds. You're on your wild card, which means Robertson to Trent Alexander-Arnold, something that I would definitely do. And Otamendi, unfortunately, might have to go to get all these players back together. Salah down to Aubameyang gives you like 1 million to play. So yeah, I think you could probably get Son out of that, right? Woods to Aubameyang, Pukki to Aguero, and then Sterling and Salah turns into like, 8 million per place. So you could get like a El Neni Son, and then maybe keep Otamendi back there. So I think you're doing great. Your wild card looks pretty decent. You've got Soy, which is a really, really good shout. If you want to keep Otamendi in, then I'm good with that. You got Lundstrom at a quite good price, so you probably brought him in maybe game week 2 or 3. So that was pretty decent. You've also got Kelly. You probably had him from the start. Aye, you're doing well, man. I like it, Seth. Kelly to Rico is a great shout because Rico's now playing and Kelly's now not. So I would do that. I don't like Silva though, Bernardo or otherwise. Like I said, Bernardo has just played 90 minutes in 2 games in a row, and David Silva, he just like previous years, he is rotation heavy, so you would kind of need both of them to do well. But thanks very much for sending your team in. I appreciate that. You're doing really well. Cheers, buddy. All right. Tin. Fuck, my internet just died. Please do my team last while I restart my router. Are you here, Tim? Let me know. If you're not, that's okay. I'll do your team last. That's cool with me. Alright, this comes from 1 hour, 28 minutes. Cheers, Raw. I appreciate that. We're going. We're on time. So this comes from a guy called JSPD. I think it's from Reddit. Thank you very much for sending your team in. Crow Costa, you're here. Oh, that's you, Tim. Okay, awesome. Right, we'll do this team and then we'll do you last, I think. Because we've been going for nearly 90 minutes, so we're into extra time in a bit. Alright, so Pope, Robertson, Otamendi, Soy, Rico, all the players we've already been talking about. Sterling, Salah, De Bruyne, Barnes, Pukki, Callum. I like Callum, I don't like Barnes, but Barnes to Abraham's a bit difficult. Cantwell and Lundstram and Hayden on the bench. Aye, all good things. If he had one free transfer, I might take a hit to get Otamendi to fuck and get Abraham in there. But I mean, a 4-3-3, you've got a lot of money in there. I like it. I don't mind. Callum, I'm not impressed with Callum, actually. I know everyone's saying that he scored all the time, but like, if he didn't score in the last game with the last touch of the fucking ball and that ridiculous defensive blunder, I mean, he'd definitely not be in the conversation. In the next 6 games, Bournemouth has West Ham, Arsenal, Norwich. West Ham have been keeping clean sheets, but I would expect goals. Arsenal maybe expect goals, although it is away, and by that time potentially Tierney and Bellerin's back. And then Norwich at home is probably their best fixture, but you've got to wait 3 game weeks to get there. So I mean, they're not bad fixtures. I just don't think he's been playing well. I don't think he warrants a spot, but he's done just enough to keep us talking about him, which is so like Callum. But a thing that FPL General said in the Fantasy Weekly podcast this week was that he's not got Fraser. Fraser's kind of been benched for Harry Wilson, which is his buddy, his team, his I don't know, his fucking friend, right? It's the guy who keeps passing to him to get the goals, right? And he's just not there, and he's not receiving those passes anymore. So the friendship is over. Fraser's sitting on the bench, reminiscing about times past last year, and we're all kind of just sitting here, wondering what the fuck's going on. But Harry Wilson's been playing great, so it's not like you can just bench him. He's went up in price this week. People are recognizing it. So yeah, I mean, Callum Wilson's a liability. But would I waste a hit to get him out? Not right now. So I think your team's banging for next week at least. I'm on my wild card, so I'm taking Otamendi out. And anytime I see him in the team, I just think like it's money you could be putting up front. But City do concede every second game, so that's really, really good. So they're still on target for their 19 clean sheets this season. So it might come. So I don't mind. Otamendi's a no-brainer if you want to still keep money in the back. Yeah, I like this team a lot. I wouldn't change much. Callum and Barnes to like Abraham and, I don't know, Aubameyang. I know you can't afford it, but yeah, no, the team's very good. Maybe get rid of Salah. But God, it's hard to tell people to get rid of Salah when they're not on the wild card. But thanks very much for sending your team in, dude. I appreciate it. All right, let's do Tim. Where are you, buddy? I know you're around here somewhere. Thanks for sending your team in, JSPD. Appreciate it. Alright, Tim, let's have a look. Here is your team. You guys can see that and my beautiful face at the same time. And you actually sent something as well. So you've said, I took a small wild card this week for -8 just to prep my team for the next couple of weeks, and I'm planning on switching out Zinch Anderson and possibly Aurier after international break. Transfers this week taken Dean, Salah, Pukki and Barnes to Aurier, Son, Firmino and Abraham. Kinda aggressive, but got a good gut feeling and hate Pukki playing away, benched him versus City and just blanked all other games. Having just Cantwell is enough, I think, and as you said, fuck ownership coverage. Yes! All good things. Love it. Love it to death. Mate, so fucking good. Love that shit. I think that's the best way to go. It's like, yeah, you've got Zinchenko as your most expensive, and you're probably going to be swapping him out very soon for Otamendi anyway. Felipe Anderson, someone who I actually like, although the teams that he's going to be doing well against, who are kind of weak on their right defensive side, are coming to a close after this week. So you might see him kind of decrease in his output. So I'd keep an eye on that. We can come to that later. I don't like Allaire, but I mean, Bournemouth's a good fixture on paper, and he's not a fire right now, so that's fine. You said you hate Pukki. I fucking hate Pukki as well, because he's done nothing for me except for City, and that was like luck. So yeah, I'm down with you on that. As it's raw, politely said, Kolasinac, why is he in your team? To be fair, I was thinking about getting him last week, right? Or was it just after the international break? And then he did get an assist, but he also hasn't, played a game without conceding. So it's an issue. Arsenal have just been, I researched it over and over again. This fly's doing my fucking tits in. Gonna fuck off, I'm streaming. Fuck's sake, he likes the lights because they're so bright, because it makes my face look nice. I got Kolasinac last game week just for the fixtures. Yeah, their fixtures are great. There's no point in having a 5.5 defender on your bench though, buddy. And I wouldn't bench anyone else who's on your team except for maybe Kelly. He's gonna go on for Kelly if Kelly doesn't play. I get that. So I think you're sitting fine. He's gonna come on if Kelly doesn't play. So you've got Aurier, Zinchenko, Kolasinac. Kolasinac's probably gonna concede, but he also might get a cheeky assist. The only problem is he's on a countdown, right? Obviously, Tierney's going to take that place as soon as he's fit, and he has been putting minutes in, and Tierney looked fucking badass in the cup. I actually put that game on just to see how he was doing, and he was putting runs in, he was putting crosses in. They weren't playing much on his side, so we didn't get to see him in action, but he was pretty solid defensively. Didn't get many people past him. Put in some crosses, and he was running, which is the thing. Like, Kolasinac is always just up there waiting for it, but Tierney's tracking back, getting the ball and coming forward. So that's something they need. That's something we knew Tierney was so good at anyway. Kolasinac is a bomb waiting to happen, a fire waiting to happen, much like Zinchenko. So next couple of weeks you're planning on switching out Zinch, Anderson and possibly Aurier. I think Aurier has one good game after the international break, so I think you're all good. He's not a fire yet, and I also think it's his best game, right? It's against Watford home, so I think I would keep him and then maybe get him out. So next game week Zinchenko, then after that Kolasinac, then after that Aurier. You've said I do like Allaire actually, and think he should be coming good. No Lanzini's a bit worried. Yeah, that's the problem, right? That they've kind of lost the people behind them. So Allaire was doing well, and then they lost their creativity. So Allaire's have to kind of come back and kind of hold the ball and stuff. So if you watched him for the first two games, he was fit, he was banging, and then the last two games without their midfield creativeness, he kind of isn't there. There's no 1-2s anymore. There's none of that shit. So he needs that Lanzini player behind him. He's not like Abraham, who can people just find him, and he's great for running onto like beating offside traps, Allaire's a big guy. He needs service. He needs proper runners. So we'll see what happens there. Tierney will not play so soon, and he's very attacking. He's on the bench just this week. Yeah, I think you're golden. He might get downgraded later to Soy, but until game week 9, I think I'll gamble on him a bit. What's up with Fornals? Fornals has just been playing in the cups. I think he's kind of dropped them a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a West Ham supporter. I just really like watching their games. I think they're very entertaining, and I was watching them a lot because I was an Allaire owner. Fornals just got dropped. He was good in preseason, but I think Noble's the captain, right? So he's got to take a spot up, and Fornos is the worst out of Lanzini, Anderson, and Yarmolenko, right? I think, although he is good, yeah, would have been good to see more of him. I agree. I totally agree. But anyway, thank you so much for sending your team in. I appreciate that, buddy. And you know what you're doing anyway, right? It's a defensive downgrade, and then we can see what we can go from there. I love Firmino, by the way. I love it. I love it to death. It's fucking amazing. I hope I have him. I really want him. Why don't I just do it? Why don't I just do it? I'm on my wild card anyway. We'll see. All right. Is there anyone still in the chat that I haven't done? Because I'm thinking about closing the stream just now. But if you're here, Vishal, actually. Vishal, last team, right? I think you've been here. I should probably do that. Captain talk. Yes. We'll do captains. I forgot to do captains before we swapped this out, actually. So thank you very much for reminding that. Vishal, I'm going to look at your thing really, really quickly, but I think we've covered most that I want to talk about, and yeah, it's pretty much the same as everything else, right? You've got Maitland-Niles in there, need to get sorted. Coleman will need to get sorted, but you've got your bench cover. Actually, you know what? Coleman will probably come on if Kelly doesn't play, so that's a bit of an issue. So if you got your free transfer, I would probably take that and deal with that now and get Coleman out. Ederson over Otamendi is a bit of an issue because Ederson's not really saving much, and Otamendi is very attacking. He's been in the box every time a corner's coming, so that's big. But yeah, Pukki, Abraham's okay up front. Barnes, the train's kind of coming into the station a bit with him, but you've not got that much money to upgrade to anyone important like Firmino or Vardy. You would need to downgrade Coleman and Maitland-Niles to like fucking 4.0s, and you already have one of those in Rico, so bit of an issue with that. But yeah, your team's banging anyway. Coleman should be dropping tonight as well. Actually, that's a good point. Let's have a look at who's dropping. I'm clicking on the buttons, bringing up the people. Alexander-Arnold going up tonight. Bernardo Silva going up tonight. That is a trap. Firmino going up tonight is very important for me. That means I need to discuss what I'm doing with Pukki. Fuck. And Pukki might be going up as well. Jesus. Alright. Down. Coleman, Walker-Peters, Fraser, Cathcart, and Donkert again. By the skin of his nose. Yeah. Alright. I actually spoke a lot about captains last week, Mr. Tin Man. But just for you, my captains this week are probably going to be Abraham, because it's the week where everyone is kind of split on who they're picking, and I think I'm just going to go for a really, left field one with the best fixtures, which is either Abraham or Son. I don't know who I'm going to pick yet. I really, really need to sort that out for next week. But yeah, that's the stream. An hour and 40 minutes, our new record, our lowest amount of time. We're getting better and better at this. I really liked the slideshow for the questions, so that was really, really good. Thanks everyone for coming. Good luck in game week 7. It's definitely 7, right? Yeah, it's game week 7. Good luck in game week 7. And I'll let you know on Twitter how my final wild card looks, and we'll hopefully get some more green arrows going from now onwards, because honestly these red arrows have been kicking my fucking ass. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want your team rated, then send it along on Twitter, and we'll see what we can do. All right, but thanks everyone for coming. Cheers guys, appreciate it. Dave will message you tomorrow. I don't doubt it, Liam. Thanks very much guys, appreciate it. Bye 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 bye. Whoops. Nearly forgot my bloody outro. Paul, no worries, man. Had to pop out. You didn't miss much. I did all the questions, then we did rate my teams. It'll be on YouTube and shit. And YouTube's easier to go back than this. But yeah, thanks very much everyone for being here. That's so awesome. I appreciate it. Tin, I've not really seen you much on here. Love the question slideshow edition. Oh, appreciate it. Finally was able to catch you live after missing a couple of weeks. Love the question slideshow. Yeah, no, I mean, it was, I really do, I thought that was great. It really helped because it meant I didn't have to click things and do stuff. I just had to press one button and it all worked. So yeah. Thursdays are always a rubbish day for streaming. That's the problem that I've noticed, is that we don't get a lot of viewers. So I was thinking about making Thursday a guest day so that we could at least try and pull in some newer people. And it means that we can actually have like a chat. Did you look at my midfielder dilemma? Oh shit. I did not. I didn't actually look at your team, buddy. I didn't look at your team because I'm an asshole, I'm not a nice person, and I'm going to do it right now for you, okay? Because you're still here. Hold on. Hold your horses. This is now officially whatever it's called. Extra time. No, not extra time. I forget what it's called. What's that thing when they finish the game, they gotta go into extra time? Yeah, extra time, I'm right. Fucking hell. I had a mindfuck. No! Paul! Don't you dare. We're doing your team, whether you like it or not. Don't worry about it. Mate. You are a subscriber. You are a subscriber. We don't do that. You get the extra time. And we did really well with our time right now. So this is just some extra stuff that I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about YouTube or nothing. It's all going to get done. You're now thinking Tielemans or Lamella. All right, first of all, what kind of fucking phone did you use to take this picture? Jesus Christ, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. Right, not sure on Harry Wilson, so got 6.9 to spend, though on Tielemans, my choice. Felipe Anderson or Zaha. I'm a Palace fan. I don't like the third choice. Yeah, no, neither do I. Or lose a defender and add bigger midfielder, but happy with everyone else. You think? All right, let me have a look. Yeah, no, your defense is great. Harry Wilson's there just to make money. I understand that. Yeah, no, I understand. Tielemans or Lamella for Mount. You can change McCarthy for El Nene. El Nene is 4.3, so that might give you a wee bit more money. It's Ross says Tielemans into triple Spurs. Or in your opinion, triple Spurs is a bit risky. Yeah, and I think Lamella has been doing well, but like I said in the stream previously, they've been losing. So yeah, Lamella has been playing, but they've been fucking losing. They've been shite. So I think Eriksen's going to come back in. I have a sneaky suspicion. I don't like Harry Wilson as a pick. I picked him just because he was going up in price, but I'm not going to have him to end the whole thing, right? So for me, what would I do? I might put Cantwell in there instead, buddy. Cantwell for Harry, and then maybe upgrade a defender. No, I don't like that. What would I do? What's my fucking thing? Who have you got that I don't have? Hold on, I need to look at my team. Right, this is that guy's team that I made. This is Daft's team. McCarthy, and I need 0.2 to get Madison, so now I need 0.1. Oh, for I was gonna say, do you have more money in the bank? 6.9 to spend. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. If you need 0.1, we can find that. Can we find that? You might need to get rid of Aurier. I do like Aurier. No, I think he's saying that. So McCarthy, and I need 0.2. So now he needs 0.1 if he gets El Nene. So I think that's okay. Why is this team... I feel like you could make that. What am I doing? What am I doing with my team? Is it just my value is a bit higher than yours? Is that all it is? Sorry, I need to build my team back up so I can see what I would do. What am I missing? What am I missing here? Oh yeah, that's what it was. Alright, so El Neni's in there. And then that means I've got enough to do him to 11 million. That's what it was. Okay. So can you make this team? Can you make this team? Rico, Lundstrom, Alexander Arnold, you're paying 0.1 more for him than I am. And you've got Aurier. Cantwell. Yeah, your midfield. It is a dilemma. It is a dilemma, buddy. For you, getting rid of Aurier to get Maddison is, I think, what you might need to do, which is a bit of an issue. But you're going to go with Firmino. Then you've only got... Well, I've got actually quite a lot to spend if I go Firmino there. So it's weird that you don't have enough money. Like, I've got 8.6 to spend here. And I've got all the players that you have, right? Mount, Son, De Bruyne, El Neni instead. Kelly. Instead of Kelly, you've got Aurier. So I've got 7.8 to spend. Damn. And you've got 6.9. Aye. If I only had 6.9 to spend, who would I get? Or 7 million now it's for you. Not many people. Yeah, I think you're right with Tielemans. I think that's just what I would do. I think I would do that. You'd have some money in the bank. You can upgrade Aurier to Tierney if he comes in, or fucking anyone that looks decent in defense, or you can upgrade Mount if need be. If it turns out that Mount gets subbed or something or rotated in those fixtures, you could upgrade him to Maddison. So yeah, I think that's what I would do. If you ditch Aurier to 4.1, you can get Mads and should even have enough cash to upgrade 5th midfield to Cantwell, I think. Yeah, that's a good point. So we go... But see, the thing is that we're all discussing this as if Mads is, in fact, free. Like, not injured. But yeah, get Kelly back. Bam. 1.5. That was roughly about how much I could spend. I think I had 1.2 more than you. Cantwell. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Maybe that. I agree, Tim. Oh, Jim's not going to be happy that I'm calling you Tim. Let's just not tell him. I just can't help it. Jim, Tim. But all sound so similar. But anyway, Paul, apologies for not doing it on stream. It's not that I forgot about you. I just didn't have enough time to do everyone. So yeah. You like that? I mean, I do like Aurier, but it's against the philosophy of all-out attack. If Maddison's is injured though, you can do this. And we'll get El Neni back in there. You can do this. 7.1. So no, that's for me. Actually, I don't think you could do it. For me, I was gonna say Firmino to Son, but we're worried about the money in the first place. Yeah, never mind. I think you were good the way you had it. Thanks. I think I might go Tielemans if Maddison isn't fit. Yeah, buddy, do that. Ooh, Andy's finished his stream and he's just posted what his wildcard is gonna be. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna have a look at that. Thanks everyone for tuning in to the extra time. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time, right? Hopefully you guys have a great game week. I hope I have a fucking good game week because I need some fucking good points. They're not going to ask me to go to the podcast anymore. I didn't have the heart to tell them where I was. 2.5 million or whatever the fuck. Ugh, it's bad times. Right, appreciate everything, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Cheers, 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 cheers. 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 Have I forgotten anything? No.